Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. This is your friendly neighborhood Oxhorn, and welcome one and all to the Minuteman Power Armor Museum. Free admittance, donations accepted. This is my Power Armor Museum where I have on display every single suit of power armor in the game, including all different paint jobs for every different type of armor, and all unique pieces of power armor. Due to that fact, you're going to be watching this video at 14 frames per second. I didn't realize when I was building this that all of the different textures for every single paint job would bog down my system so much. I mean, I really don't have anything else in this settlement. This is my player home settlement. At the very top, I've got my lighthouse, and then I built this museum down here, and that's about it, but it's still bogging down my system pretty intensely. I built this modernist-looking kind of display structure out of the concrete tile set in combination with the greenhouse glass tile set. I wanted it to feel open and bright and airy because it's a museum and these power armor pieces are on display. I wanted it to have great sunlight so the sunlight could light it up, so I gave it as much space as possible. Here's a profile view, and you can see that I exclusively used the concrete tile set that came with Wasteland Workshop, and I used the lay of the land to kind of dictate what the finalized design would be. Now, I built my player home on top of the lighthouse. I did another video on it. I should do a new one. I'll do that someday soon. But I supported this overhanging bit with this contraption of stilts, and it used to reach all the way to the ground, so what I had to do is I had to remove those stilts and build them to the ceiling of my new museum. As you can see, the supports come on down and they end right on the roof. They don't pass through it, and I didn't want a pillar to go in front of the window because the window has such a fine view, and one of the pillars would have gone right by it, right in front of the window. So instead, I kind of had it come down, and then I ended it there, and then I set it down there. I'm not an architect. I'm sure some of you architects out there might have something to say about whether or not this could really stabilize a big wooden structure on top of a lighthouse, but oh well, it works for my purposes. But on a bright sunny day, when you look at it at just the right angle, you can see every suit of power armor on display through the windows of the museum until you fly far enough out so that the fog takes over. Before I go through each suit and explain what each one does and where I got it and my ideas behind it, let me finish showing you the architecture of this building here. The tricky bit about this is that there's a road right here. There's a little trail that goes on down to the dock, and I had to build this on top of it, but I didn't want to block the road. So what I did is I built this little tunnel right here that keeps access to the docks, and that forced me to kind of push out my power armor display a little bit from the wall, but I decided to make good use of that by using that interior pillar as the primary display for some of my most important power armor, which I have on display there. Now, instead of using the concrete floor foundation that comes with vanilla Fallout 4, I decided to use a combination of the Place Anywhere mod and the regular concrete walls. I wanted to keep a consistent concrete look throughout the entire thing. The concrete foundation that comes with the vanilla tile set has a different texture, so it looks strange. So I wanted to keep that, so I kept those walls the same throughout. And thanks to the Place Anywhere mod, I was able to get the wall pieces to snap through things like these rocks and this lighthouse foundation. Then I wanted the place to have a unique profile. I didn't want it to look blocky. I really wanted a long, flat glass wall at an angle from the other walls because you never see that in these structures. So I started by using the triangle floors that came with Wasteland Workshop, only to discover that there are no wall pieces that snap to the long side of the floor, which was hugely frustrating, but there's also a reason for that. So instead what I did is I used the Place Anywhere mod to just put down one of those glass floors, and then once it was down perfectly, I was able to snap all of the different wall pieces to it to make this flush wall. Now, the reason that Bethesda doesn't allow you to snap anything to the long side of this triangular piece is because the wall piece widths don't accommodate it. As you can see, I've got 2 of those triangle pieces arrayed point to form one long wall. And when I tried to put 3 different wall sets there, you can see right there they overlap a little bit. But it's not a huge deal. I'm not going to let it bother me. I then put some lighting on in here because I didn't want this to be a dark pathway. And then round about the outside, let me see if I can change the lighting. I wanted to have a little bit more light, and so I have these windows installed. Now this comes from a mod, and I'm going to give you the names of all of the mods that I use in this video, overlaid on the video, and also linked in the description, so please check there for the mod. But what this does is it puts glass in those big windows that come with the Wasteland Workshop concrete tile set. And the guy does it for all of the different windows. Here's the barred windows with glass in it. There's the pure straight up window with glass in it, and here's the entire wall replacing window with glass in it. So now you have glass in the walls, and it comes in 2 versions, regular and bulletproof. This is the regular version, which is why you can see a few cracks in there. I jumped on the roof in my power armor earlier, and so that's why I think there are cracks in the glass. But I'll probably install the bulletproof version later. Anyway, so I wanted to have glass in there to open it up a little bit, so I installed that mod to add a little bit of glass. And I experimented with every single concrete texture mod out there to try and change the texture of the concrete in this building. And I hated all of them. Some of them were kind of clever, but the base texture, concrete texture that comes with the game is gross, and it doesn't work for a building like this, because the reason that all of this rust and gunk is running down the wall is because it's been exposed to the elements. But in this structure, which is a brand new kind of modernist looking structure, the inside isn't going to have a bunch of exposure to the elements. So for the outside, I'm fine to have this nasty kind of rusty concrete texture. For the inside, I wanted it to be clean. But sadly, I probably went through 5 or 6 different concrete texture mods out there, and none of them, I didn't like any of them, and I couldn't make one, so I just went with what the vanilla game had. I put these windows on this long side piece since I didn't have any power armor stored there. But the problem is that the long pieces like this don't come with any window slots. The only ones that do are these itty-bitty short pieces like that. So I would put one down, and then I would have 2 huge gaps on either side of it. So what I ended up doing is using these tiny pieces right here to fill in the gaps. There, you see those big gaps? There are no pieces that are perfectly fit for that, so I ended up using these 2. Like so. And it gives me a little bit of an edge right there, and there's a tiny little wedge right there, but nothing I can do about it. It doesn't expose the inside to the outside, so I figured, you know what? I am not going to beat myself up over it. I wired it using the pass-through wall conduits that came with Contraptions Workshop. There you can see my electricity coming up the side of the lighthouse. It goes all the way to my generator room, which is on the dock over there. And then I used the pass-through conduit there to attach a wire from there to the conduit and then wire it on in through here. I then used the mini white conduits that came with Vault Tech Workshop because they're half the size of the other ones. For example, there's what the old ones look like. Big, bulky, huge. And the Vault 88 ones look so much smaller by comparison. And I really wanted to save room with this build, so that's how I wired it. I tried to keep the wiring as invisible as possible. I didn't want to use any of the carpet glitches to embed the conduits in the walls or anything like that. So you do see a little bit of wiring, but these display racks naturally come with a lot of wiring behind them anyway that you naturally see when looking at it. So I didn't think it was going to be that big of a deal. One thing I am frustrated with is that for some reason Bethesda made the floor tiles all this nice rusty iron, except that one. That one is wooden. Okay. Well, it seems out of place, right? I mean, this is part of the same tile set. It's all part of the concrete tile set, but they decided to put a wooden triangle, a wooden texture on the triangle instead of the metal ones like every other floor piece that came with the tile set. So that's confusing. I tried changing that myself by swapping out the textures, but I had a hard time with it, so I ended up just leaving it alone. Let's start over here. I built this little nook. This is the nook that hangs right over the path. The path goes down here and on towards the dock. So I built this little enclave, so to speak, and it's a bit rounded on the inside. And on the bottom here, I have the Nuka-Cola Quantum X01 suit of power armor. This is the one that you get by completing the Star Cores quest. In Nuka World, it's behind a security glass, and boy, it sure is a handsome suit of power armor. I did an entire video dedicated to that one. Above it is the Sugar Bombs power armor. This came with Contraptions Workshop. You don't find it in the world anywhere, but you find it as a new option for painting the T51 set in your power armor workbench. Above that is the Abraxo Cleaner power armor paint job. This also you find from Contraptions Workshop. You don't find it on a suit of T51 anywhere, but you can paint any T51 suit you want with it. And over here, I complete my whole branded series of power armor. So I've got one vertical stack of branded power armor here, and another vertical stack of branded power armor here. On the bottom, we've got a nice suit of Vim power armor. You can find this inside the Vim bottling plant in Far Harbor. And I believe once you find it, you can actually paint any suit of power armor you want, the Vim colors. Above that is the Vim Refresh paint job. This also is from Far Harbor. You find this suit sitting on a truck bed to the north, on the northern side of the island on a road. And then once you find it, you can also paint any T51 suit you have these colors as well. Above that, I have the Nuka-Cola power armor that you find in the World of Refreshment, the Nuka-Cola bottling plant that you get in Nuka World. You can't paint any other suit of armor this color. You can't learn it as a recipe. There's just this one suit. So it's a rare piece, and I've got it on display for you here. Over here is my Raider suits of armor. This is the regular Raider 2 set of power armor. The 2 doesn't look any different from the 1. This has the unique Tessa's Fist piece attached to it. I've always liked the way that the Raider power armor looks. And then this is the Overboss power armor that came with Nuka World. This drops off of the Overboss in the Cola Cars Arena. Above them, I have the Winterized power armor paint. Now, many of the power armor paints come in 4 different versions, one for each suit of power armor, but for some reason, not the Winterized power paint. It only comes in 3. It's got the T60, the T51, and the T45. They don't have an X01 version of the Winterized paint, and that's such a bummer because it's the only white one for the X01 power armor if you decide not to side with the Institute. So, I don't have the Institute paint. I probably could have installed a mod to get it, but you only get the Institute paint if you side with the Institute. And as you all know, I destroyed the Institute in my game, and I felt it would be kind of, cheating of me to get that power armor paint to display it when I went out of my way to destroy the Institute. So in terms of white power armor paint, I've only got the Winterized version, and just for these 3 suits. Above them, we've got my unique power armor section. Here's where I'm putting on display the unique power armor paints that don't really work on more than one suit of power armor. Over here, this is the Railroad power armor paint. It only works on the T51 set, and it's got this really super dinky logo right in the middle of the power armor. I was a little upset about that. I sided with the Railroad on this tune, and I kind of wanted to have a nice suit that I could show it off. I like the fact that it's black, but that logo is just so dinky and small that I was a little bit bummer. They've got so much space on the T51 for a much better logo, and they don't make good use of it. And then over here is the Atom Cats armor, and I decided to put that on my unique T60 Tesla armor. The T60 Tesla is a unique suit of T60 power armor. You can't make it. You can't find it anywhere else in the game. You get that from Automatron. And I figured that that would be suitable for the Atom Cat's paint job, which, of course, is a unique paint job that doesn't work on any other piece of power armor. Now, we talked about the Winterized suit. Let me go over and talk about these here. The Winterized suit is one of the few paint jobs that you don't need magazines, you don't need DLCs. It comes with the vanilla game, and the others are the Minuteman, the Vault Tech, and the Military. Let me talk about those really quickly. Here's the Minuteman paint jobs, and I am using a mod to kind of optimize the way they look. The Minuteman paint job only works on the T45 suit of armor, and that really bummed me out. I'm the general of the Minuteman. I should be able to paint every suit of armor in my faction's colors. I mean, heck, we can send artillery cannons to every point on the Commonwealth, but we can't paint a suit of T60 power armor to have the Minuteman logo. Ridiculous. So I downloaded a mod that allows me to put the Minuteman logo on every suit of paint of power armor and a unique Minuteman paint job. Right now you're taking a look at the gray Minuteman paint job. They also have a navy blue version, which is really handsome. I showed that version off in my Vault 88 settlement build video, so if you want to see that, check it out. But I figured I'd show off the gray version here. Above that is the Vault Tech paint job. So the Vault Tech paint job gives you a boost to charisma, and it comes in these nice Vault Tech colors of yellow and blue. Now I have a mod installed that allows me to put decals on the different suits of armor, and so I went ahead and painted every suit of armor in the Vault Tech paint job, and then I just put the Vault 111 decal on it, just to, tie it back into home. And this does work for every suit of armor right out of the box. And above it, I've got a series of military paint jobs on the T45, the T51, and all of the others. It's got this wonderful olive drab looking color with a kind of ivory contrast for most of them. Doesn't come with any logos or decals or anything, but it does look handsome. I've probably used this version of paint for my power armors in most of my playthroughs, because it gives you a bonus of strength. It gives you 1 strength if you have every piece painted, which can help with carry capacity and a lot of other things. Coming around here, and I've got my special power armor section. You have to find the different power armor paint magazines that drop in the game to get these designs. Thankfully, you can get these for all 4 suits of power armor without needing mods or anything else special in the game. And the cool thing about them is they do look different on every single suit. This is the Hot Rod Shark magazine, and as you can see, the mouth is in a different place for the T45, the T51, and all the others. And I really like the way how it looks on the X01. After I finished the game my first time, I used it on the X01, probably more than any other one. It's a handsome-looking paint job. Next is the Hot Rod Pink. I've got it on everything, and I like this one because it's very feminine, and I had a female character, so I was rocking this for a while when I was leveling, and it's super grungy. Because it's such a light color, it shows dirt really well, and look how grungy that is. I actually like how dirty and filthy it is. But yeah, it's kind of obnoxious, the color scheme. It's obnoxious and in your face, but part of me really likes it for that reason, so I've got that entire set on display. And then above that, we've got the Hot Rod, the regular Hot Rod set of power armor paint, and it looks really great. It's got +1 agility to all pieces painted, and looks good on every suit. So I know it didn't sound like it, but that was 37 different suits of power armor. I completely exhausted my power armor storeroom at the Red Rocket Truck Stop. Go back and watch my Red Rocket Truck Stop settlement build video and you'll see what I mean. I created a storeroom for all of the power armor that I found in the game because I did want to collect all of them. And I had to completely raid that to get all of the power armor pieces and frames I needed to paint each and every one of these. Now, there are a couple of omissions, as I alluded to at the beginning of the video. There are 3 different Brotherhood of Steel T60 paint jobs. The Brotherhood Knight, the Brotherhood Paladin, and the Brotherhood Sentinel. Now, I got the Brotherhood Knight and the Brotherhood Paladin just by playing the game, but you only get the Brotherhood Sentinel paint job if you side with the Brotherhood of Steel, because then, of course, you get promoted to Sentinel. And I didn't. I killed the Brotherhood of Steel in my game, so I didn't think it would be fitting for me to be putting on display a big Brotherhood of Steel, paint job for my power armor as if I was proud of it. So I didn't include those, and then I also didn't include the Institute paint job. The Institute is really handsome. It's the only white paint job that works on the X-01 suit, so I'm a little bummed that I didn't have access to that. But I killed the Institute, so it only makes sense that I didn't have it. Anyway, I'm really pleased with this display room that I created for it, and I positioned it in just the right spot. Look at this view. It's got a beautiful panoramic view, well, nearly panoramic view, of the seaside. You can see Croup Manor over there in the distance. You can see the downtown city, Boston, over there. And the sun hits it in just the right spot in the morning. Let's see if I can put on a show for you here. There goes the moon, and here comes the sun. I also really like how it lights up so well at night. The display stands that come with Contraptions Workshop actually do a pretty good job of lighting up the power armors at night. When it gets dark and gloomy, my power armor glows like glistening gems. Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. I just wanted to show off my project for the past couple of days. I started it just before I installed Nuka World, and then, of course, I got sidetracked by Nuka World, and now I finally finished it. I came back and I finished it, and it was perfect timing, too, because now I actually have every single suit of power armor that drops in the game. Beforehand, I wouldn't have had the new Nuka World power armor, so hey, at least I have that going on now. So let me know what you think. I'm sure many of you have got wonderful collection displays going on in your own settlements, in your own player homes. Let me know what you thought of mine. I really do appreciate it. Thank you all so very much for watching, and you have a good day.